Welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Bunch podcast for your fix of weekly nerdy news featuring scoops, trailers, and Keith. Say hello, Keith.
Hello, Keith. We're a day late today.
We are a day late. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, and so I think we both took advantage of the extra long weekend. We're here on a Monday, so we don't expect too many people on the live stream, but hopefully people will be catching up when they get a chance.
Yep.
So how have we been? What have we been seeing?
What have we been seeing? I have seen Hostage this week, which was that Netflix sort of brief thing, which actually was better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
British sort of drama thing. What else did I watch this week? I watched Wednesday. I'm up to date on Wednesday season 2 because me and the missus went away, and because we're in the middle of nowhere, there's not a lot to do in the evening, so we kind of vegged out. They put these mattresses on the floor of this sort of room that we had overlooking a lake, and we just vegged out watching Wednesday season 2, which is the first time I've done that with them and missus in ages. So we Netflixed and chilled, Gareth, with the dog in the middle. It was actually kind of cool. So we watched all 4 episodes of Wednesday, sort of fucking 4-hour marathon of Wednesday, which I actually quite enjoyed. Although fucking hell, Pugsy's grown up. It's not a year. There's about 3 years there. You can see it.
And it's weird because they've moved to Ireland, and it looks like they've moved somewhere else. And look, and it's funny because I reckon next year they'll be filming in the UK, given all the tax breaks and whatnot.
There's a lot of British people in it. A lot of British actors in it. Not long to wait for the second part of the season, so that's pretty good. I watched a few episodes of that 007 thing on Amazon Prime. It's a bit ridiculous, bit contrived.
But hang on a second. As it comes to doing cool tasks, have all these realities and they have to do tasks. They've got the coolest fucking tasks. The building that they were fucking climbing up today, I was walking around the bottom of that this morning. So I thought, we were there earlier today. There's a big old bloody market at the bottom of it. So we were walking around the market there early this morning. So that was funny. I've watched a few episodes of it. They're annoying. They all are annoying. Except the mates. I think the mates are probably the least annoying. Noddy and Dave,
out of all of them. Yeah.
They are the least annoying. The what do you call it? I like the couple. You've got the couple from London who are how can I put it? Are just listening to them trying to talk when they're going climbing up the thingy, and they're not listening to each other. And I can completely empathise with that. He's trying to talk and she's not listening, and he's not listening, and then you've got the gay couple, and the poor fella in that relationship. The Western fella is very henpecked by his Chinese husband, shall we say? And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to watch. I'll be honest. That their behaviour.
I find him a bit overbearing. I didn't like much of the couples, and I find it a bit scripted. But there's bits in it that are cool. Seeing Thailand, and seeing where.
Can I ask you something? Do you think that what's his Mr. Cox? Brian Cox would make a great M?
Yes.
He would make a fucking villain.
But I also think Joanna Lumley would make a good M. And she turned up in bloody Wednesday the other day. The funny thing is, I actually think in Bond, M works as a woman. Right, but there's certain British actresses that do it. Judi Dench was an awesome M. I think Joanna Lumley could be quite a good M. There's a few other sort of British actresses. Helen Mirren would be a fucking good M. Even after she played the gangster, god awful gangster's wife in what's his face, but she was very good in that part. But yes, he would also be a good M. Yes, Brian Cox would be a good M. But I actually also think Brian Cox would be a good Bond villain. So,
You got choices there with him. There's options, which is a good thing. So yeah, that was good. I watched Weapons at the cinema. Horror film
I've heard
about the
this.
kids disappearing. I watched it, and then I watched a load of videos on what they reckon it's really about. And I'm like, I'll talk about it. You can't. Battery's gone. Switch your video off.
Yeah, okay.
So it's probably didn't charge his battery up. I was getting shit.
I'll bring it back.
Anyway, so I watched Weapons. I watched the first episode of Peacemaker season 2.
Yes.
I watched that.
Should we do that in the reviews? Should we cover
Deep Space Nine? Yeah, I did Deep Space Nine, Jem'Hadar, and The Search. And I asked ChatGPT some interesting questions, which we'll get to when we talk about Deep Space Nine, which I found fucking hilarious for its output. So,
I'm sure there was something else I've seen as well, but I can't remember. It's bugging me because I think I saw something else as well. Did I watch something on Prime? I can't remember. I'm useless. I am useless.
Yeah.
I saw something. I know there's something else that I saw this week. But yeah, I've watched quite a lot of stuff. I'm sure I'll remember as we get into the news.
Okay, so let's start off with... let's have this one.
Well.
Oh, fucking hell, I've got the wrong notes up. Idiot's got the fucking Deep Space Nine notes up. Let me just pull my correct notes up. So... No, that's almost there. Almost there, past Doctor Who, and then up a bit further, and then I should be able to see my notes for... Recently, James Gunn's opened up about Peacemaker Season 1 and expressing a surprise sentiment. If budget wasn't a concern, he would love to reshoot more of the first season, better to align with the new DCU universe continuity. Though not a wholesale real do is happening, he's already incorporated target reshoots into Season 2, reconciling past DCEU crossovers like the Justice League cameos with a fresh Superman-linked DCU framework. Fucking hell, guys. To blend... it's a fascinating blend of continuity, creative control, and fan service. Peacemaker kind of sat on the outside. Yeah. Suicide Squad kind of sat on the outside. And the reason it sat on the outside, it was not because it wasn't really part of the DC setup. It was more because it was, how can I put it, adult. Yeah, so it kind of sat away because it wasn't quite mainstream enough. So like the Suicide Squad, there's lots of blood, gut, gores and murders sort of things, which made it really entertaining. And when you got to Peacemaker, same again, but throw in some sex, some coarse language, and John Cena in his underpants every opportunity he gets. So I know what he's trying to do is to fit the continuity and whatnot. It seems odd that he canned a load of other stuff. He still hasn't canned Robert Pattinson's Batman, which I think is probably some sensitivity over the director, writer, creator not being quite 100%, shall we say, politely. But it's interesting that he kind of would go back and just readjust things so it would fit. Which kind of I kind of like, and at the other side I'm kind of like, well, you could have kept Henry Cavill and the others and blah blah blah.
I think, I mean, obviously he hasn't done. If you're going back and watch episode like 10 of season 1 on Max, it's still the other universe, right? And the joke is better, you know, when he says "fuck you, fish fucker" or something along those lines to Aquaman, and you know, he goes, "I don't fuck fish," and Barry kind of turns around and goes, "Yeah, but is it though?" You know, like that's a funnier joke than what he replaced it with, and that's part of the problem. There is this small but vocal lot that for some fucking reason, like the Snyder cut, but you know, they're mad assholes, just like Discovery fans. So I don't understand.
I think they're. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're better than Discovery fans. Yeah, I really do, because it's
marginally. Discovery
They've got
fans
some-
are probably more vicious, but Snyder fans have been pretty sort of, vocal on online.
I chalk them up to being passionate. Yeah, they liked something and it went away, and we can both attest to that. Oh, we liked this, and then they bloody changed it. So,
yeah,
yes.
that's true. Sorry, chucking my battery
So,
around.
ah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll get into the reviews of Peacemaker, but I kind of understand why he did it. I had a feeling he was going to do it, but when you heard him going into an alternative universe, I thought the alternative universe was going to be the one with the new Superman and everything. And he has that cameo in Superman.
yeah.
We'll talk about the other issues with it when we get into the reviews, but I mean, spoiler, I liked season 1 of Peacemaker, and I disagree with most of the online chatter because I like the second season. John Cena's an incredibly charismatic guy, so
It's do you know what my biggest irk is with it? I'll say the biggest irk. It's the dance routine at the beginning.
the
No way as good
music's
as the
not as
first one.
good. No, I
No
agree
way.
with you. Way the music in the season 1 way better.
Yeah. That's the biggest letdown. I think there was a different tune there, but we'll get into that later. So let's have this one.
Hans Briggs? Oh no!
Oh dear.
Good news for Whovians or bad news for Whovians. The BBC has reaffirmed Doctor Who is far from over. At the Edinburgh TV Festival, BBC content chief Kate Phillips declared the TARDIS is going nowhere, making it clear that the series will continue on the BBC, whether or not it's co-produced with a deal with Disney Plus. With Disney Plus. While uncertainties around the streaming partnership persists, the BBC is committed to the iconic sci-fi series and remains solid as a rock. The new spin-off, The War Between the Land and the Sea, is already confirmed for 2026, promising to keep the Whoniverse thriving. So,
I think it's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit. I think it's one of it's their flagship show. Yeah, it's gone nowhere. It's done nothing. They need to correct course. They won't correct course because it's not in their nature. Yeah, it's not in their nature to admit a mistake. They will blame everyone but the people who actually need blaming, just to try and justify what they're doing and why their fucking audience is all of a sudden just disappeared, evaporated overnight. It's nothing to do with the fact that you guys started catering towards an audience that represents 4% of the country rather than, say, 80% of the country.
The lead actor fled it because he realised it was harming his career, right? There is the rumours are too persistent that it had a different ending, and they're doing their usual of not acknowledging it. But the it's too persistent.
Have you not
the original ending had Susan in it.
Have you seen the clips from the ending?
I've heard about it. I don't think
Have you not seen them?
I don't think they got leaked.
There are clips.
There is one clip in the trailer that didn't end up in the.
No, there's one clip. I've seen the clip.
Yes, there's one clip.
I've seen it. One clip.
Yeah. So there is one thing that's. The rumours are too damn persistent. And Susan was going to be in it. And then she wasn't. And then they've done this Billy Piper thing to try and. That was Russell T Davies trying to get people to be interested, and they're not, because the current creators of Doctor Who hate the audience.
Do you know
and
what
this
the
is what
funny
happens.
thing is those people who are defending the current version of Doctor Who, they all went no when that happened. They went no, that's stunt casting, that's bullshit. If she'd have done it and she'd have turned around and gone Bad Wolf, we would have gone, oh, this might be going somewhere. But I don't think Russell T Davies is. I don't think he can write the way that we.
No,
he should be
he's
able to write.
he's too caught up in his own bullshit. He keeps smelling his own farts, and he thinks, I think he got knocked on the head. Had a close encounter, and some idiot told him to be the savior of the world, and now he thinks that. And it's the fact is that they hate the audience. They're too busy lecturing the audience rather than telling good stories. They're too busy coming out with bullshit like, oh no, Davros is no longer disabled because, and it was you, Russell, that brought Davros back in the first place. Not everybody else. It was you, Russell. You brought Davros back twice, I might point out. You didn't have a problem with it back then. Then you got whacked with whatever the wokey pokey stick, and now you've become an insufferable prick. And there's no other way to put it. You come across as incredibly arrogant in these things, talking about a fucking audience that doesn't exist, making a show for a fucking audience that doesn't exist, using public money. And you might have argued that you could do this with the Disney money, but you can't fucking do it if you don't have that Disney money. You can't. Because there will be, with the mood of the UK right now, there will be somebody that fucking calls you out on it. And I can see it happening.
It's funny. I watched a review of Russell T Davies is like kind of losing the plot, shall we say? Yeah. And then I saw an article. It read the following: was Russell T Davies's era really good, or was it Stephen Moffat? And I think it was Stephen Moffat, and I always stood by that he's the better Doctor Who writer. And it turns out that Russell T Davies struggles with the kind of the temporal nature of Doctor Who. He can't write unless it's in order. He's like, so Stephen Moffat can sit there and he can rejig orders and it's a time travel fucking show. If you can't write out of order on a time travel show, where you're allowed to, how?
I mean, it's no denying that the best episodes under Russell T Davies, with the exception of Midnight, were Stephen Moffat's. When Moffat got the writing keys, it wasn't always perfect. I think a combination of the two was once a force. But you can argue that there were some good episodes in those first few seasons, and they were nowhere near as bad. And Russell T Davies can write. Can he write science fiction and Doctor Who like Moffat? No. Moffat wrote the better episodes, but he was once. He knew at least how to write, right? And he knew how to tell a story, right? And he knew how to be slightly preachy but still write a decent story. He's forgotten how to tell a decent story, and now he's just full on preachy. I hate my audience. I mean, somebody's obviously told him that everybody all of a sudden is anti-gay out there and all this kind of crap, and he hates everybody, and it comes across, and that's the problem.
And I don't. Well, when it comes to the anti-gay thing, I don't think it's anti-gay. I think it goes like this: we don't care. And in their eyes, us not caring is hate, not us not caring, us not giving a shit. You're gay, fantastic. Well, we've got work to do.
Well done.
Get
yourself a spot.
Yeah. What's the big deal? What you want? You want a fucking party? I didn't get a party. You don't get a party. There you go. There's a bit of equality for you.
But is that not what you see? This is the thing with so many of these people. They don't want normality. They crave the attention. They crave the slap on the back. You're so brave. And the thing is, it's not brave being gay anymore in the UK. It's not. There is not the prejudice anymore in the UK. Now, I can understand why certain people might feel more frightened in the US, and I'm not going to get into the politics. I've got a gay friend in the US, and I'm not going to argue with him. He feels this, and right, whether I agree with it or not.
If he lives in the fucking built-up metropolitan area, I'm going to fucking argue. If he lives in rural but fuck nowhere, I would say okay.
In the UK, I don't know anyone that's truly homophobic. I mean, I know a few people here that are a bit homophobic, right? But I don't know anyone about my group of friends that are really homophobic. It's like, okay, well done. Get yourself a juice box. In fact, I know quite a few gay people. I don't know anybody that's really racist in the UK out of all my friends. I met one or two people here, but it tends to be a particular type of person. This audience that give a shit about this just don't exist anymore. We don't care, right? These people are obsessed with skin color, gender, fucking sexuality. I don't care, right? You know, it comes down to this. Are you a twat or not? If you're a twat, fuck off. If you're an alright person, I don't care what colour fucking skin you are. I don't care what gender is. I don't care which fucking deity you decide to fucking praise, right? It's whether you're a twat or not. That's what I care about. Right? And, you know, that's how I was brought up. And that is how most people from my generation have been brought up.
Yeah.
Stop fucking preaching to us. You're preaching to the converted. We just don't care. Right? And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Right? We care when somebody's picked upon, when somebody's truly, you know, so, you know, if one of your mates, you know, happens to be gay or black and somebody says something to them, yeah, you stand up for them. I care about that shit. But it's happened very, very fucking rarely to me. Right? I mean, I think I can count it on one hand when I've truly witnessed racism or truly witnessed homophobia, right? It doesn't happen like these people make out. It is not on every fucking street corner. It is not down every goddamn alley. It is not everywhere in Britain, right? So who the fuck are you making Doctor Who for? Because it isn't people in the UK.
Yeah, I think that some people get bad information into their head. Yeah, and it's annoying. It's frustrating. There's a lot of things out there where it's like I found out. Yeah, I think it was last week that the term Uncle Tom, which is supposed to be a racist term, actually doesn't mean what you think it means. Uncle Tom was the hero in the book. He used non-violent ways of protesting. Yeah, and it was a literary reference that Malcolm X used against Martin Luther King. But people have now jumped on that to say that's a bad guy, and it's like he wasn't a bad guy. I'm going to have to read the fucking book now just to confirm this. But if that's true, we haven't got to, as a species, we haven't got fucking time for this shit. I'd like to make it into space. I would. I'd like our species to fucking conquer the stars, but we're never going to do it if we keep up with this shit.
It's funny. Even BBC News is now referencing cultural wars because they can't not. Right? It is out there. It is touching everyday people now. The normies are now aware of this. The normies are having it. I mean, we've been talking about this for years. Right, but that's because, you know, it first affected the shows that we love, right? You know, but it's now affecting everywhere. You know, a lot of normies liked Doctor Who. They've stopped watching Doctor Who. Why? Because it's crap, right? It's too caught up in its own thing. You know, there was entirely no need to make the Doctor gay. You didn't need to do that. You could have introduced gay characters, which you've done before. There was no need to do that, but you had to do that. You had to drive that point home.
It's really weird because in the OG version of Doctor Who didn't have any kind of romantic.
Yeah, he was asexual
whatsoever. Yeah,
I to this day don't understand why. It was you, Russell, that made him fancy Rose. It's you that decided to do all this. It's you that sexualized Doctor Who. No one else. You were the one that started it. Right. In actual fact, most of what's his face's time was, you know, okay, Amy Pond kind of had a thing, but then didn't, right? Because she ended up with Rory. Then you had Clara, who really didn't. It was never a sexual thing with Clara and the Doctor.
So it was weird because Amy Pond had a thing for the Doctor, but the Doctor didn't have anything for her.
Yeah,
and that was the kind of weird dynamic behind it because he liked her and he liked hanging around with her, but he's like, oh, no.
Stephen Moffat wrote the Doctor reasonably asexual, and then it got, you know, smacked around when we had to have it as a woman, and again it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, I think who was it the other week that's come out? I think it's Helen Mirren, who is a brazen feminist, turned around and said James Bond can't be anything else but male. I mean, and she's right. I mean, I don't agree with half the stuff she comes out with, but she's right. The thing is, they've lost, right? That's why no one's watching this stuff anymore, right? And it's not It's not the fact. It's not apathy. It's the fact. Well, it is apathy, but it's not apathy created because it's oversaturation. It's because you started writing shit stories, and you lost the. You don't care about telling stories anymore. You see yourself as an activist. This is the problem with Marvel. This has been the problem with Doctor Who. This is the problem with. I mean, and Doctor Who is probably still arguably one of the most sort of butchered shows, along with Star Trek. So no wonder they fucking reference each other. And all these people have in common is they see themselves as like white knights, and it's all white guys, right? It's all white. Half of them are gay, right? It's all these white saviors that think they are, they have this platform. Therefore, it is their solemn fucking duty to lecture everybody else on what's right and wrong. And the trouble is, all of it comes from hate. You hate the people, and it's evident. And hate leads to anger. Anger leads to the dark side. Sorry, Yoda, but it's fucking true.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, Doctor Who, shit, don't care. But it won't come back in the way it will. It can't. If it loses the Disney money, they will have to... I guarantee it probably will come back, but it won't be Russell T Davies writing it.
No.
It won't.
Toby Whitehouse. He would have been a good choice. But you fucked him over.
Give it a couple more years, and it'll come back. But it won't come back for a while, and it won't come back with Billy Piper as the Doctor. They'll scrap that. They'll come up with some bullshit reason. But Russell T Davies is done. That's why he's not the one saying Doctor Who's going to continue.
True. Okay.
Anyway,
My name is Jeff.
In a surprising turn of events, Dexter Original Sin, the prequel series exploring Dexter Morgan's teenage years, has been cancelled by Paramount. Despite having been renewed for a second series just weeks ago, set 15 years before the original Dexter TV series starring Patrick Gibson as the young Dexter, and still enjoying premiere viewership, yet a recent strategic shift from the Skydance merger has led to the untimely demise. Meanwhile, momentum continues for Dexter Resurrections, the sequel starring Michael C. Hill, with the writer's room for season 2 now open. So they're starting to do pre-production work for season 2. I was really hoping for Dexter Original Sin season 2 to kind of time me over until Dexter Resurrection came back, if that made any sense. Paramount has actually got really good fucking TV on Paramount Plus here in the UK. I'm not sure about anywhere else, but here in the UK, I've got TV series that I'm actually watching more than, say, like on Netflix. So, well, Dexter Tulsa King, Mobland, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Dexter Original Sin, and there's some other ones too. It's the one called Teacup that I'm watching at the moment.
the guy that did Tulsa
King, yeah.
The guy behind that, who's also responsible for Yellowstone and all the others. I mean, he's done some awesome stuff on Paramount. The reason is that yes, it was Dexter Original Sin did quite well. It didn't do as well as what the new Dexter series is doing because of Michael C. Hall. They had the option. They went with the one that makes more ratings. As much as this annoys me, because actually the prequel series was pretty good, and that got me to start watching Dexter. I've been watching Deep Space Nine, but I'm going to get back into it again because I actually want to see it all the way through so I can watch this. It's somewhat promising that they've done this, because if they can cancel something that has this, and here's the thing, Gareth, this was better viewed than Discovery, Strange New Worlds, right, and Academy, and I can guarantee Academy, right?
Yeah.
So, but not Picard season 3. So, the reason I put this in here was not to go, ha, I'm upset by this. But in a roundabout way gives me hope for Star Trek, because I think those Academy rumours are true.
I think they're true too.
Because they announced season 2 of this, then cancelled it. So the more, because we will know this, right? Keep a lookout on the Star Trek Twitter or X, X account from November. If you see anything saying Academy season 2 scripts appear, then you know that that's bullshit. If I was a betting man, there's going to be nothing, absolutely nothing on that X account, because season 2 will not have gone into production. It's due to go into production towards October of November. It won't. It's been cancelled, or it's been put on hold to see if the YouTube is just, what do they call it? What's the term they call when it's downvoted? Well, they use it as an excuse. Yeah, when it's been ratioed by evil people on the internet, when actually most people just think it looks shit. Here's the thing, right? Episode 1 will get huge ratings because everybody will tune in just to see how much of a car crash it is, and then they'll start watching. Strange New Worlds hasn't done well this season. The last episode, like, everybody's going. There's very few people on the internet going, "Oh, this was an original episode." All you people bitch when they don't do something original. They copied an episode that Stargate SG-1 copied from the West Wing, which copied it from something else, which I can't remember. But basically, it was they directly, almost word for word, copied a speech made at the beginning of the West Wing version of the episode, and then they filled in with bits from SG-1, right? It was done by a reporter being allowed into the studio, right? But in the West Wing, there's an episode where they film behind the scenes, and the speech is, this is like a 60-minute report, right? The famous and it was done in that. They got the guy that was famous for it at the time to do the voice, the voiceover for it, and he said, this will be declassified once the president's left office, and this was this will be declassified after the Enterprise, it was almost word beat for beat. Right, and we all know that Star Trek copied shit. Well, they blatantly copied this, and here's the thing: it was trash. It was a copy of a copy, and it was a cliche animal used to, cause destruction. Animal sacrifices itself because it's in too much pain and to save its family. It's been done so many fucking times and the fucking creature looked like Mothra from Godzilla. In fact, it was an absolute fucking carbon copy. Splashes out radiation that kills everybody. You've been watching too many you basically stole that. It was Mothra.
Hang on a second. They just said Mothra.
What's the character? I thought it was Mothra that was the character in the kaiju.
There's loads of kaijus. There's the mutons which you're putting out.
No, what was the moth one? The one that looks like Mothra, a moth.
Yeah,
it was a not Mon Mothra, but it was a copy of Mothra. So again, Dexter, I am upset that they cancelled it because Original Sin was quite good. That had higher ratings.
All Original Sin was going to do was just tell us that Brian killed Harry because it looked like suicide, but we know Brian killed Harry, and that's what it was going to lead to, and it was going to lead up to all the bits where Brian would, try to engage with them, this, that, and the other, keep distance, etc., and then off Harry, and that was going to be the conclusion of the series, which I still would want to see.
I mean, I understand it's not as upsetting as if something else, but it was rated quite highly. Right, and it was rated higher than most of the Star Trek shows. So again, this is why I believe this about Academy, because a lot of people have just come out and said that trailer looks awful.
I think Skydance are just. I think any given that Paramount handed a shit ton of money over to JJ and he did fuck all, I think anyone associated with him is nuclear. And I think this might be the last you hear of Alex Kurtzman after this. I don't think he'll ever get a fucking job again in Hollywood.
I think the fact that he squandered, and there is no other word for it, squandered all the good feeling, lost Terry Matalis, lost that entire creative team. And again, you watch Picard season 3, and it's a love letter to Trek. Was it perfect? No, but it is a love letter to Trek. The music, the beats in it, the car, it's a love letter to Trek, and it's why so many people responded to it. You know, okay, there was always going to be those dickheads on the internet that you know had to hate it because that's their brand, but Picard season 3 was a love letter to Trek, and if you can't see that, then you live a very sad life, in my opinion. Because it was all over it, and you squandered that. You squandered that good feeling. God, can you imagine, right? We could have had a season and a half of Legacy by now. We could be into season 2 of Legacy by now, and everybody would be loving Trek if Matalis was showrunner. But Kurtzman's ego couldn't hack that.
Yeah. So Disney bought him. They got him, and they've got him to do Vision series, which...
Yes, but he's only one. And I suspect Legacy might still happen. If I was a betting man, I would say that I think we're going to see two Star Trek shows. You know, they've given... Go on.
I think this is what I suspect, yeah? If they are clever enough, if they are wise enough, they will go and they'll do the Archer thing, yeah? So they've got their prequel show, and they will go to Terry Matalis. We want something Star Trek, but new. Something new, yeah? It needs to be like Star Trek, can't be reliant on old things too much, yeah? Because Voyager and the others, there were clauses saying that they couldn't do anything from the original TOS thing, and only a few things that Gene Roddenberry was allowed to sign off on. But even when he passed the references into the past, I think, and give us something completely new.
I think that's where Legacy was going, because I mean, Legacy launched the new crew. And at that point, they were popular, and I think Legacy was going to have some of the characters come in, but I don't think they were the main crew was going to be Seven and the thing. And it's all right to have a familiar face. I mean, they did that with DS9 when it was flagging. They brought Worf in, and it worked. And that, you know, again, I can see them doing this. You know, put it in that universe, right? In that era. Bring old characters in. They don't need to be in all the episodes, and the focus doesn't need to always be on them, but have the old characters in there. Get the cameos in there. We love fucking seeing Tuvok in there. It was awesome. Bring them all back. Bring them in there. Stick them in there. Have Janeway fucking, you know, as the Admiral giving...
yeah, but the Admirals in Star Trek were always horrible fucking people.
Not all of them.
No, the blonde one, right? So
the blonde one was god awful. Yeah, I remember in Next Gen she was fucking awful.
She was evil. Every admiral in fucking Next Gen was evil. Why don't you want to become an Admiral, Picard? Because they're fucking evil.
But we've already had Admiral Janeway, because we had her in what? Insurrection. Was it Insurrection? Yeah, it was Insurrection, where she had the cameo as Admiral
Which was
Janeway. Cut. No, it wasn't. So.
Was it just a video call?
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't count as a cameo. That's too shit for a cameo for me.
But she was meant to be in Picard season 3, and then she was held over for Legacy, and then they didn't do it. But I still think they might. But definitely, for fuck's sake, do the bloody Archer show. Wake up, cancel this bloody Gen Z or whatever you call it shit that we've got on now, right? Get rid of it. We don't want Academy. We don't want Strange New Worlds. I know there's some people out there, but come on. Even the Strange New World fans that fucking argued with me last season, please tell me name me one episode this season that you truly enjoyed. And if you talk about that fucking Q episode, I'm going to slap you. I will slap some sense into you, right? Okay. Because that is, you know, and there just hasn't been one. right? It's all fucking young, fucking Californian wankers, right? And that's not Starfleet. It's Strange New Worlds at least had 1 or 2 redeemable episodes each season, right? Third season has just been shit. And I defy any of you out there that argue with me about this. Name me one good episode this season, please. I love you to tell me.
You're the one who liked it.
Yeah.
On that note, let's go on to the next story.
Say, hold up, wait a minute.
A magical milestone for the fandom, for Harry Potter fandom. HBO has officially cast the Weasley children in the highly anticipated Harry Potter series, slated for 2027. Tristan Harland and Gabriel Harland will play the mischievous twins, Fred and George. Ruani Spooner takes the role of Percy, and Gracie Cochrane will portray Ginny as they join a strong ensemble cast, including Alistair Stout as Ron and Catherine Parkinson as Molly Weasley. With filming already underway, the Burrows is coming to life once again, this time for the small screen. So,
if you have a look at them, they work for me. That kid does look like a bit like Percy. He's got that. Look, this pisses me off, right? They've actually cast this show, bar one, really well. And, they look great. They work for me. They look great. He looks like a Percy. He does. The kid looks like a Percy. He works for Ron. They work. And they're all ginger, which is great. Funny enough, I've got a friend whose surname is Spooner, and he's a ginge. So it must be, all Spooners are gingers, I reckon.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because.
Sorry, Sharon.
Genetic skips sometimes in your favour.
Yeah.
So
I'm one of them. My dad was a ginger.
What I find amusing is, I really like Fred and George in the films.
Yes,
they had a certain level of charisma. You kind of got the feeling that they were lads about school. They'd mess around, this, that, and the other. But everyone liked them. They were the popular kids. Yeah, with the brother who was a bit more. Oh, come on, fucking Ron, pull your socks up, yeah. And the sporty younger daughter, because she was surrounded by boys, so naturally she makes it up by being more sporty, sort of thing. I have to wait. I'll wait. You're right. The Snape thing is just like, why? Why did you do that? Why? Seriously, why? Why did you do that? Because the whole Snape dynamic changes. Making Dumbledore black would have been more appropriate.
If they came out and done it and said it, if they come out and told the fucking truth, it would be better than trying to lie about it, right? To try and. People are not stupid. People don't buy this bullshit anymore. I'm still half expecting them to recast, but they won't. But look, they're hoping, because they've done every single other person. Although the person playing Fudge doesn't work for me. Fudge is short.
Who's playing
skinny.
Fudge?
Short and plump. And they've got somebody playing Fudge that just doesn't look like Fudge to me, but we'll see. But they do. They look like the kids. They do. They're all ginger. They're all where they should be. I'm still slightly skeptical about Molly Weasley, but we will see. We'll see. You're right. It's meant to be out in 2026, but they're not bringing it out till 2027 because they're going to shoot 2 seasons before we even see the first season, and there's a hell of a lot of post-production. So, but they were out filming in London the other day with a guy wearing a Hagrid, Nick Frost Hagrid mask, which looked weird. So he was this. Because I'm like, what's wrong with that? And then I realised that it's a stand-in that they're obviously going to CGI him in. Because he had these black spots. So I went, no, it's Nick Frost as Hagrid. And then I realised his face doesn't change in any of the pictures. And everything. What are those? Oh, I get it. Nick Frost ain't that big.
No, Nick Frost isn't a 7-foot gentleman.
But I'm already buying him as Hagrid, and we will see.
The problem is, I can hear Nick Frost just saying the following: "Can I get any of you cunts a drink?" And it's like him dressed up as Hagrid, like, "Can I get any of you cunts a drink?" In the fucking 3 broomsticks. Come on.
The interesting thing is, I think it is next month that the Philosopher's Stone is released on Audible with the full cast, and the kid playing Hermione is the kid in they've cast her as Hermione in the Audible show. So we're gonna get a preview of her before we even, a year before we see the TV series. So that will be interesting.
True.
I still think Michelle Gomez as fucking McGonagall was a lost beat. I wish she would have been fantastic.
Yeah. It's annoying. She too old to play. It sounds awful. Too old to play Bellatrix Lestrange, because she would have fucking torn up the fucking everything. She's
still one of my favourite things in Doctor Who. She just
that
is one of the things that out of that era of Doctor Who that was just bang on, and she was fabulous. I mean, she was one of the best things of that era of Who. Anyway, have we got one more?
One more.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh no!
Big news from Middle-earth. Ian McKellen has dropped exciting hint that both Gandalf and Frodo will appear in the upcoming Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum, directed by Andy Serkis, who also promises to reprise his role as the iconic Gollum. The film is set to begin production in early to mid 2026 and to hit theatres December 17th, 2027. While McKellen didn't confirm the actor's involvement, the reunion of familiar faces promises to delight fans and deepen the franchise tapestry.
Well, the fact is that Elijah Wood doesn't look any fucking older than he did 20 years ago. So he could just walk back into the role.
He said he was so glad he put a wig on for Lord of the Rings, because he looks at it and goes, I couldn't have grown my hair to look that good. It would have just been crap. I
love Andy Serkis's portrayal of Gollum. When we did our Lord of the Rings rewatch, I've forgotten how much I love those 3 original movies. The Hobbit movies were nowhere near as good. There are moments in the Hobbit movies that are really good, like the meeting of the White Council, which actually is not part of the Hobbit book at all. It's a part of the appendices of Lord of the Rings. That was very cool. The necromancer, even Sylvester McCoy's Radagast was great. Seeing that, even though again appendices of the book. But I didn't like the fact that they dragged them out into 3 books. There is a story here if it is done right. Frodo cannot be in it for very long. But it would, be nice to see Elijah Wood back in it. I don't know. I don't know if you should just leave those films alone as masterpieces. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ian McKellen will always be Gandalf for me now. I mean, he is Gandalf. He is the embodiment of Gandalf, and as what's his face is Gollum. But do we need a film? Do we? And I don't know. Is the honest answer. I
think it's supposed to be an antidote to the fucking Rings of Power.
I think it is. I think that behind closed doors, people are disgusted with it.
The 3 of them and Peter Jackson went, "This Rings of Power is shit, isn't it?" And they went, "Yeah, we should do something to remind people that Lord of the Rings, when we did it, was better." I think that's what it's going to be, but I can't.
I hope that's what it is.
Yeah.
But The Hobbit wasn't that great. And it does not hold up when you watch those 3 other films.
Is there a fan edit of The Hobbit?
Not sure. I think there might be.
Because there
and I
are
think it's probably
usually fan edits of these things, and I
It was
imagine
too
there's probably a
long.
fan edit. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked if there was a fan edit of it, because they would have cut out a lot of crap.
I mean, that's the problem. If it'd been 2 films, it would have been better. And I think he tried to put a lot of stuff in there that potentially he should have done an appendices film, like an anthology film, like done a film. He should have done like a Love Actually thing of mini stories from the Lord of the Rings, which would have been really interesting. That's what he should have done, right? He should have made The Hobbit as The Hobbit, right, and then done. You know, he could have done that. 2 films was the maximum he could have done, and he should have all those other little interesting tidbits. You could have done like an anthology film of short stories that come out of it. You could have put all of those bits in there, and fans would have loved it like that. But anyway, look, the beauty of hindsight.
I think that I'm hoping it's the case, and I'm hoping it will be good. So.
Oh, I'm with you. 100%. I'm with you. But yes, I mean, I'm look again seeing Elijah Wood back on screen with Ian McKellen. Of course, I'm going to the geek in me is going to go awesome. And I'll cheer it along. It's just I'm damaged. I've been damaged by the last 15 years of destruction of everything I hold dear. And yeah, to the point where I'm watching 30-year-old Star Trek going, why can't Star Trek be this good?
True.
Anyway.
There are rumours that Star Trek is going to be given to Ronald D. Moore to be the showrunner and creative control of.
Well, he's finishing. Yeah, I've heard this rumour. I've also heard that the first call he will do is to Ira Blair. And look, Ira Blair is a, raging hippie, right? He believes in all this shit. But Ira Blair tells good stories, right? And if you watch What You Leave Behind, right? The whole thing is, I wish we'd done more, here. I wish we'd been blatantly honest that Garak was gay, which is fine, right? Garak was gay. It was kind of obvious, right? But here's the thing. The story him, Ronald D. Moore, and the other writers came up with for the first episode of Season 8 of Star was still way fucking better than anything. I hated the fact that they killed Nog. Fucking hated that, because I liked Nog. But I understood why they did it. But I hated it. I hated that they killed Nog straight away. Because... but you can't, unfortunately. It's such a shame that half the fucking cast are dead. And like some of my favourite characters are dead, although I'd love to see Quark brought back somehow as a cameo somewhere, even if he's just the Quark educational program again, which was brilliant.
I think there should be a holographic bar person as Quark.
Yeah.
Quick, get me a bartender, and just the hologram is fucking Quark, and you'll be like, oh, okay. Anyway, let's go into our comments, and we have a trailer to watch. So, Tanith got here first because she knows that I went online, because everyone else is working today because we decided to do it on the Monday. Oh no, Keith is gone. Quick, before they bring him back. What TV show is that, Keith?
I can't remember, and I know the quote.
Oh, let me help you. Sir, they've taken Mr. Rimmer. Sir.
Oh, yeah, Red Dwarf. Yeah. Quick, before they bring him back. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, that was Cat. So, I liked season 1. Theme tune, dance routine. That for Peacemaker. That was good,
I agree with you. I was let down by the music from season 2. That's the one thing that bothered me, actually. The music.
Tanith reckons there's a different piece of music that they couldn't get the rights to.
You might be right.
So, yeah. And then we've got Chuck in here second, because when did you guys sneak on the air? About the normal time, but yeah, on a Monday, because bank holidays. And it's like kind of here in America, there's never a bank holidays, 100% morons in charge every day. That's the burden of government everywhere across the world. Doesn't matter what nation you're part of, or what language you speak, or what culture. Everyone in government's a fucking idiot. But what's the thing that George Bernard Shaw says? You don't get the government that you want, you get the government that you deserve. Sometimes I hate that quote because it reads a little true. Anyway, Fallout Season 2 trailer. Have you seen this?
I have, but I will gladly watch it again.
Okay.
I'm looking for someone.
Common story around here.
Someone you care about or someone you hate?
Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McKellen?
Why would my dad go to Las Vegas?
You want to know why the world ended? It started here with one man.
It's all over, but the cry.
Cooper Howard, star of the silver screen.
And no
Like yourself, I am the very best at what I do.
but
And what I do.
Before we go, Mr. House, key part of Fallout New Vegas. Do you know who's voiced by?
No.
Rennie Auberjonois. I can't say his name. Rodo from...
Yes, you
His
did
first
tell
name.
me this. Yes, you did tell me this.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his last roles.
As I know everything. I know there's a war coming. The bombs will only be the beginning. My concern is that you would do just about anything to save your family. I think you are actually quite a violent man. You just don't want to kill me yet.
That's foreshadowing. Oh, let's come back to that bit. I'll come back and we'll go through it.
Let's get lucky, shall we?
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
Do you know what? I love the fact that they haven't fucked about spending fucking ages, you know, before they even go into production. They knew they got a hit last year, and they were right. They fast tracked this, or you know, knew. That
They
would
did
have-
it like regular fucking TV,
Yes.
Keith. That might be the fact that they worked on regular TV beforehand. So let's go through some of these bits here. So, sorry, because my brain's I just need to forward it to some bits. So the first thing is first. You know, I've told you the reason that how Las Vegas survived the nuclear war, because Mr. House knew that it was coming, and he had the ability to shoot down the bombs, keeping Las Vegas safe, but he couldn't keep all the Mojave safe because he was missing a control chip, because he got the day out by one. And it's kind of where is it? So let's fast forward. So this is I can't remember his name now from Fallout Vegas. So when you play Fallout Vegas, this guy turns up and he kind of escorts you and follows you around, and he works for Mr. House. He's a Securitron kind of thing, not Securitron, Robotech thing. And then they've got Mr. House here. Mr. House has survived, and he's managed to survive in a weird hyperbaric chamber, I think it's called, where he's wired up to a machine to keep him alive. And in the game, you can pull him out of the chamber and kill him and take over. which is cool. And then you've got the, what do you call it, the Brotherhood of Steel, and I think they get shot down by the defense system that shot the missiles down. So yeah, and then we've got Novak. This is a motel on the way to New Vegas, where you've got some interesting characters. A sniper from the NCR, which they removed from the TV series, so you're not going to have the sniper from the NCR who sits up in the mouth defending it against Caesar's fucking legions. And then flashback, and then we go. So we got dad, and then what looks like a bit like the Institute. I don't think it is the Institute, but it looks a little like the Institute from.
It's in a vault, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a vault, but it's a bit more put together. So they might be introducing synths, which should be interesting. Oh, some blood and guts. Cool. Yeah. The thing is, next to Novak is the Robco rocket place, where you've got a load of ghouls who want to go into space and colonize space, and you help them load them into a rocket and fire them into space. And it doesn't. And if you do your job right, it doesn't work out very well for them. They just land about 100 miles away from the place as the thing crashes. Because there's a certain level you went there, and you're not going to get that story in there, which is really annoying. Because that's quite an interesting story, and it would be a good like B plot. And then we kind of got that going down. That's not a good sign. So that's, I don't know if that's a Pridwin or something similar. And then we come up here, and you got you got that bullet time thing, and then we got Deathclaw, which was missing from the first series, which are the fucking great big lizard things, which are terrifying. No sign of super mutants though, which is annoying. Very annoying. Sorry, me nerding out over that. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it was a good trailer. I was looking forward to it. Yeah, is it Fallout? No, it's not Fallout. I don't like it. But is it well done? Yeah, it's done. It's done reasonably well. Not great, but reasonably well. Entertaining.
So, although this trailer looks better than season 2 of the Westworld did, so it already looks more promising.
Yeah, well, do you know why they fucked up the season 2 of the Westworld?
Why?
Did you not hear the reason that Jonathan Nolan and I can't remember what her name is fucked it up? Because they were playing a game. They were playing Fallout 4. I love that. So yes,
I mean, I'm glad that they're bringing it back so quickly. I mean, you know, we're going to get some good television in December. We're going to get some good television early on next year with Paradise season 2, which I am looking forward to.
We've got a good run, I think, from September until about March next year, TV wise.
Yeah, and then I've got Hail Mary in the cinema, which I'm near the end of rereading that book because I kept banging on about it. I thought, you know what, I haven't got anything else to read. I will reread Hail Mary, and actually now having watched the trailer again, there are moments in there that I'm just really excited about seeing. And they're in the trailer. I just hadn't cottoned onto it. Yeah. If it's done right, I think you're going to enjoy it. If it's done right.
Well, if the NCR aren't there, you've got Caesar's Legion there, which is good. I don't know if you have the Great Khans there. I don't know if you're going to have the crashed alien spaceship there. The Boomers are the other ones, because there's a faction called the Boomers who have artillery and almost a working plane. I don't know if they did the battle. If they did the Battle of Hoover Dam, that'd be really good. I don't think they are going to do the Battle of Hoover Dam.
They mentioned it. I thought I heard mention of it. But yes, no, Fallout looks good. Looks good. Okay. Well done for seeing that trailer. There was a few other trailers, but I don't think anything prevalent to us.
Yeah.
No, we've got a few good things coming up. We've got a few good things coming.
Did you see Alien Earth Part 3?
Not yet, but I will do.
Okay.
Just haven't had the chance to watch it. I had a very busy work week, and there were a few other things I started watching in the background. The trouble is with Alien, you have to kind of concentrate.
I've got some bones to pick with it. I've got a lot of bones to pick with that.
Oh, is it bugging you?
Hoping it's bugging me, and there are certain things that didn't bug me as much because I went through the thing, and they missed out one really key thing with the Alien when they. Anyway, can I talk about Weapons?
Yes.
I watched Weapons at the cinema, a horror film which is split into 5 bits. It's supposed to represent the 5 stages of grief because 17 children go missing from a primary school class at school. I say primary school, middle school. We'll say middle school class. They think the teacher's a witch, and you get to see it from her perspective, everything that happened, and only one kid didn't get taken away, which is a bit weird. And then you can see it from her, and then you see it from a parent who's accusing her of this. Then you get to see it from a drug addict who stumbles across something interesting, and then you get to see it from the kid's perspective. You get to see it from a copper's perspective, who's then after said junkie, who then sees something interesting, and then you get to see it from the kid's perspective, and it kind of unfolds. And it's weird because the first 4 stories of this kind of horror anthology, I was really worried that it was going to be an allegory for school shooting. I was really worried that it was going to be an allegory for school shooting, and it wasn't that they disappeared, that they all got killed in the thingy, and everyone was just in denial. I was watching it. I'm just like, please don't do that. And it turned out it wasn't that. I was really grateful that it wasn't that. And it hints at something in the story too, which I wasn't paying attention to because I was just hoping I didn't want to watch a film about school shooting. Sorry, I don't like that. Yeah, that thing's doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. And it turns out it's not about that. And then because I was too busy thinking about that, I missed something quite key. Because there's lots, you go through the story and you see the kids go missing. Everyone's going fucking nuts. They're looking for the children. They can't find them fucking anywhere. There's one kid survived. And when you see the one kid story, it kind of flips the whole thing on its head. The downside is at the end, the violence towards the person who's caused the children to go missing is almost humorous, which I kind of appreciate. It kind of relieved a bit of tension, shall we say? But from like a horror kind of thing, it wasn't quite right. So the teacher's accused of being a witch, which she isn't, but there is a witch character in it, which you only you see in the background until you get to the child story, where it's like, as I said, children go missing, chasing the junkie down, and the junkie breaks into the kid's house and goes down to the basement, and he finds all 17 children in the basement, just standing there, oddly. And it turns out that they've been put under a spell by a witch. Problem is, it's not a witch. And this is the great thing, it was not told expressly, but when you go back and you look at it, she was infected with cordyceps parasite, and that's kind of what caused it. And you had this evil auntie who came to stay. She infected the parents, who then went into a weird vegetative state. And then she was telling the kid, you can't tell anyone this, that, and the other, and you've got to, feed your parents soup every day so they don't starve. And then when she gets to children, she goes, you've got to feed the soup to the children every day so they don't starve. And there's some weird bits in it. And you've got Benedict Wong in there as the principal. And it's always funny because I always picture him from Spaced in the Robot Wars episode, where he's like kind of goes, what's the first rule of Robot Wars? And he goes, we don't talk about Robot Wars. No. We tell everyone about Robot Wars because we want lots of people to come and join in because it is fun and legitimate. And it's just, I remember that kind of mad delivery that he had in that. And he plays the principal, and he gets infected by this thing, and he tries to hunt down the teacher in this weird thing. He does this weird run. His eyes are popping out of his head, and it's not. It seems off. Anyway, the long and short of it is they find the children at the end. They're all alive. And the parents are alive too. The infection or whatever it is, they need to get over towards the end. But it had a alright ending. But they chased because what it is they find that you can set these people off to go and hunt someone down if you give them like a bit of them, like a hair or something on there, so they can do it. Did it to the principal, played by Benedict Wong, who then tries tracking down the teacher whose children's disappeared. Tries doing it to her, and the only way they can do it is to shoot him in the brain pan. And the kid, I can't remember his name now, he gets a bit of the elderly lady's hair, and he does this thing, and it sends all the children off after her. And that's when it becomes really humorous, and it's a bit really jarring, yeah, because it's really quite kind of, you've got this way you're looking at it, and then it then becomes a comic farce sort of thing. The children are tearing through buildings, like smashing through windows and stuff. There's a bit where she runs through a house, and the people are like, what the fuck are you doing, yeah? And then this girl runs through the house, and then all the other 17 children...
Oh, no. Hang on a second. Hang on a moment, my mic's gone. My fucking microphone. I hate this shit.
Keeps doing this. It's driving me out the fucking wall. Should be back on.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to it, the children, they chase her down, and then they literally tear her to shreds. And I mean, they pop her head open and everything. And apparently there's a bit where if you blink and you miss it, where they pull her brain out, and it's not quite right. So it's got cordyceps infection. Plus, Benedict Wong and his significant other were watching a TV program about how cordyceps infect ants. The teacher was teaching her a thing about parasites and stuff, so it's kind of layered in there, so you get the idea. But it wasn't expressly said. But again, there was a bit, I think, at the end of the second story where you're talking about the angry dad, a guy called Archer, played by who plays Thanos?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, so him, and then he has a dream about Gunn. Big gun floating over the top of his house, and that's when my brain's going, don't be a fucking school shooting, because I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it. It was interesting. Not a massive what do you call it? Not a massive recommendation. Unless you're bored, it'll fulfill that. It's like lots of people were like kind of, this is really good, blah blah blah. The end I found kind of ruined it. But when it went all farcical, and that's a bit kind of bothered me. So yes, that's what I watched. Should we talk about Peacemaker?
Yeah, I mean, what was that? See, I keep seeing a picture of a dog for a new horror movie. No, that's about Good Boy. Okay, that's another movie. So Weapons is the... Yeah, okay. I know which one you watch now. Yeah, Peacemaker. Everybody sneaked in, realised that we're yeah, bang on Monday, guys.
Yeah.
Look, I really enjoyed Peacemaker season 1. I quite like what's his face. He's kind of charismatic. John Cena's kind of good in all the movies he's been in, even if the movies are terrible. You know, like what's his face? We were talking about it the other day. Heads of State. It's a terrible movie, but it's elevated by the fact that it's got John Cena in it, who you cannot not like.
And Idris Elba. They work together. They actually work together, and it's so odd. It really is.
But you can't not like John Cena. Even in this, I think this is coming for some unfair criticism. I think it's fashionable not to like this. And actually, okay, there's a few things in it, but my God, they're nowhere near as bad as some of the other shit that's been on television. The thing is, there's quite a lot of pros in this. Cena's quite good. I like the character of Peacemaker. It's interesting seeing a different dynamic in the family. I like Eagly. It's very what's his face. It's very quirky, but that's what made Peacemaker kind of fun. Okay, the blonde bird walking into the bar and kicking ass, and really one punch and she should have been down. She was kind of like that in the first season as well. She's meant to have had all this training where she's meant to be able to take a punch. I don't think it is as bad as people make out, but she would have fucking died in that, right? And but again, it's an allegory of how she's feeling, and that's why it's there. I don't think it's there for the same reasons that have been in other Hollywood things, but because now people are so jaded by Hollywood, they're going to see that way.
Can I give you the reason I think she's there?
Well, she is Mrs. What's-her-face, isn't she?
James Gunn's wife. That's the reason.
Lucky
and do you know
bastard.
what? Do you know what? I think that's more fucking acceptable than all the other fucking reasons. And it's like, we're going to get that.
I mean, the Phantom Menace all have piled on this and piled on the hate on this. And I'm going, what did you fucking watch? It's the same with... I have my own reasons for being a bit sort of jaded by Alien Earth, but, you know, I took your point, watched it again, and you were right. I don't like it quite as much as you and Mr. H, but it's not as bad as I would have made out, right? But what the fuck are they complaining about with this? Okay, yeah, all right, the orgy scene, okay? No, it's never... Right, they're making out like, oh, this is the family follow-up to Superman. No, it fucking isn't, right? And I got really annoyed with Gary and that lot when they kept going out this. Show me where the fuck this is marketed to kids. Show me. Show me where this is marketed to kids.
What's his name? Ryan on that was the more sensible head out of all of them. It was like, no, this is not really, is it?
It's not marketed to kids. It never has been. And if you let your fucking kids watch Peacemaker, which is fucking rated 18, shut the fuck up. I'm going to say this to you. You guys do yourselves, and I'm saying this directly. Gary, I love you. I love you, but shut the fuck up, because you're doing yourself no favors, right? Because you just take your credibility away, and we need voices like you. So stop shitting on a show for the point of shitting on a show. Shit on it when it's shit. This is not shit, and you fucking know it, right? And coming out with excuses like this is marketed to kids, bullshit. Right? I'm sorry, but it's not. And if you think it is, you're moronic. Right? And you deserve to have your kids taken away. But don't try and make out that this is marketed to kids. Don't try and make out that the orgies... Was the orgy scene over the top? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It is nowhere near as fucking bad as House of the Dragon, which I might remind you that you like. Right? So shut the fuck up. Okay? You cannot... like one show and not like the other, and be disgusted by it in this show. You can't, right? It's double standards. You know, you're doing what people accuse you of hating on something for the point of hating. This wasn't bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. Was the orgy scene a bit over the top? Yes. Right? Was it a bit uncomfortable? Yes, it was supposed to be. That was kind of the point of it.
I thought I'll be honest with you, I thought he was fucking hallucinating at first. I thought he'd done so many drugs that his brain just went and popped.
And it might be that.
No, because the guy, he saw him and he told Rick Flag Senior that it was going on. So
I mean, I was watching them and going, you're just nitpicking at this, right? And yet, you know, if you're going to nitpick at this, all the other stuff that you've liked, right, you could nitpick at and have the same problems with it. No fucking show is perfect. But the thing is, Cena's quite likeable. The characters are quirky. This is James Gunn, you know, what James Gunn should be doing. It highlights more and more that he was the wrong person to take on Superman. And I maintain that, having watched Superman again, he's the wrong person for Superman. The script's a mess. But this was all right. This was having something back. Do I like the fact that he changed it and cut out the Snyder universe? Look, the characters are funny. The bit where he goes for the interview was kind of funny, right? And Fillion being obnoxious. I do like Fillion's like Green Lantern. The joke, as I said earlier on in the podcast, that when the Snyder guy was in there and the fuck you Aquaman, you fish fucker or whatever, was far funnier.
Yes. All right. Yeah,
I don't particularly like Hawk Girl. I didn't like her in Superman. She doesn't come across very well here. And again, if you're going for Silver Age comics, making her an obnoxious bitch is not particularly great. Making the Green Lantern more like he is works. Her, it doesn't. So I criticise that. The orgy was a bit over the top, but I think it was meant to be. I think it was deliberately over the top. The owl speech, you think... we both have different opinions on that. I find it uncomfortable and a bit shit, but I think it's meant to be a bit shit.
I would have... Right, this is the show don't tell sort of thing, and it was like they're kind of showing it in a really crap way. They should have just had it so Vigilante was like, I'm a good guy now, and then just failing miserably at being a good guy. Yeah, he's like he like arrests someone and he ties him up and this, that, and the other, and they just turn around and act, like a reflex, just casually shoots him on the floor. Yeah, and then you're like, oops. And then it would just, if you could have done it as like a little kind of montage of him just desperately trying to do the right thing but fucking up because he's a fuck up, would have been much more entertaining.
Yeah, look, I can agree with you to on that. And I can agree with you on that one, and that would have been better. But it again, I don't know. I watched their reaction to this, going, "What fucking show did you watch?" And I know I keep coming back to it, but it bothers me. I kind of enjoyed watching him with his family. I was not expecting his doppelganger to turn up and then for him to kill him. That's put an interesting sort of light on it. But
so the thing is, I think that his doppelganger, considering his dad is nice and his brother is nice, I think his doppelganger was the opposite of him, an utter fucking arsehole. Because they're all that kind of, oh, you're being nice, there's something wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. And I think that may have been the kind of catalyst sort of bit behind it.
I mean, I saw Paul Chatto's review, and I mainly disagreed with that. Because, again, okay, I know he's doing it from his network executive show, but Peacemaker Season 1, Peacemaker Season 2, they're not network shows. They never were. These are streaming shows, right? This was designed for streaming, and it works as streaming. It's quirky as fuck. It's very fucking James Gunn. It's not a network show, right? And therefore, you can't apply the same logic. Again, I'm coming down to the point now where, like you said last week, sometimes they just hate for the point of hating, right? And the thing is, like, they're all carried on saying that Fantastic Four was a huge flop. It's not. It's done nearly $500 million. $500 million. It's done nearly $500 million.
No, Keith, it is. It needed to clear 800 million to be.
Well,
to even. Yeah, remember.
It depends
whatever the production budget is, you double that roughly, and you get the marketing budget on top.
So it's broken even because it was 200 million, is what they're claiming it now. They claimed it's 200.
No,
I know.
You'll find. Hang on a second. If it's filmed in the UK, you're going to find out a couple of months down the line that it is. And I'll be honest with you. Where was it filmed?
I think it was filmed in Atlanta. I don't think it's British made. I don't think it was Pinewood Studios. I think it was Pinewood Studios, but in Atlanta. But you're right. We'll find out. I mean, Superman's done 600 and something. And Superman's done well. I don't think it is the flop that people want it to be because they don't like Marvel. I don't think it was,
but it's not, Keith.
Yeah,
it's nowhere near, say, Doctor Strange 2.
No,
and that was, everyone considered that crap, and that got 900 million on that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's nowhere near Spider-Man No Way Home. It's nowhere near that. It's not. This isn't a return.
But it's the best performing Marvel movie of the year by a long way.
There've been 2.
But that's not saying much. 3.
It's like saying I came second in a boxing match.
3.
Yeah.
But
what 3? What 3 Marvel films?
Captain America, believe it or not, was this year.
This year?
Yeah, it was. Thunderbolts and and then we had this, or was Captain America late last year? No, I think it was this year.
Okay.
But it doesn't look. I don't know. I enjoyed Peacemaker. All right. You know, it wasn't the best Peacemaker episode I've seen.
Dance
but it
routine.
wasn't. But the dance
Fucking
routine was
mammoth.
crap. Yeah, I agree with your significantly fairer half. I like the routine and music from the first one. It's a bit silly, but I like it, and I like the music. I really did not like the music for this. The dance routine is similar to the first one.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play Wigwam over the top of that and see if it matches. And if it matches, they couldn't get the rights to it for second time round, and they did it to Wigwam. But yeah, I'm gonna just like James Gunn, your biggest criticism, you fucked up the dance routine in season 2. Okay, it's good. It's worth watching. I'll probably watch the next episode. I have to re-up my Now TV because I cancelled it, and it expires tomorrow. Believe it or not. So I'll have to re-up it and watch that. Which will keep my wife happy because she's watching The Rookie. But we have our retro review of Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine, Season 3 opener, The Search, Part 1 and 2. After the Jem'Hadar's nasty welcome, Sisko's returns with the USS Defiant. At the same time, the fucking B5 turns up with the White Star. Starfleet's tough little warship, just like the White Star, with a Romulan cloaking device. No, because it had Volantech. And his mandate to find the Dominion leadership before war explodes. The mission pushes the crew into new espionage and diplomacy under fire, while Odo confronts the truth about where he came from, and Kira decides whether she can trust him. No big spoilers here, just the intro. So it's alright, it's a bit late for fucking spoilers. It was like what, 94, 95. Defiant didn't behave very well in this episode, did it?
What in season at the end?
In the search, it got its ass literally handed to it in the first fucking engagement. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we got the firepower, but no, and it's yeah. So they did that. They get the Defiant, and they're like, oh look, and you got Julian complaining about this, that, and the other. Quark trying to sell replicator. Him also joining because he needs to do diplomatic stuff. Odo kind of, oh, should I go, shouldn't I go, blah blah thing, because he's upset because you got Eddington in there. I wonder if that'll lead somewhere. Eddington in there, that's foreshadowing if anything. That's probably one of the characters I remembered most out of this. They do pull, I'm going to call it a Stargate because it's been done in Stargate more times than any other TV show, be it Atlantis or SG-1, with oh no, it's a fancy ruse. I think it's funny because I think I'll get to that bit in a moment.
This was
they go through the what do you call it? They go through the wormhole. They take the Defiant out, and then they find out that there's a flaw in Romulan cloaking tech. Yeah, it's like kind of, oh no, when we go faster than a certain speed, it kind of shows this little wobble on the sensors. That's what they're doing. They're picking up on the wobble.
Shimmy.
Shimmy. And it's like, oh, that would have, because it's like, and then it's like kind of, why didn't we know that about this before? And the Romulan correctly turns back, because it's nothing we fucking advertise. Yeah, our cloaking device only works up to warp 5.8. And then they get into a fight, and there's no tactics. I find it was really shit. It was like kind of, there was no tactics. It's not like get behind them, yeah, or pick on one and just follow it around trying to avoid it. Absolutely no tactics. Sisko, captain-wise, of the Defiant, was shit. Hence, they got the fucking asses handed to him in that first fucking engagement. Then you've got Odo, yeah, who's having, how can I put it, like, I'm being drawn somewhere, blah blah blah, and the whole thing with the Vorta pretending to be the founders, yeah, and it's weird because the Vorta is the only two Vorta that I can remember are Iggy Pop, who played a Vorta as a guest star, and matey, he's
Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs, who was also in Wayne 7,
plays Brunt.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Brunt.
Yeah.
FCC. That's Jeffrey Combs. That's Brunt. I love him as both characters. There is one more Vorta I remember only because of Iggy Pop. Because there's a Vorta that's in episode 2 or 3 of season 6 where they've crashed the Jem'Hadar ship on a planet, and there's a load of Jem'Hadar on the other side, and there's a Vorta that basically wants nothing to do with the war and to save his own life, and he orchestrates the death of his own troops so he can be taken prisoner of war. And then the magnificent Ferengi episode with Iggy Pop is where he gets shot accidentally by Quark's cousin Galen, right?
The one who owns the moon.
Yeah, the one that owns the moon. And then they have to kind of animate him to give him back to Iggy Pop's Vorta, which is fucking genius. Magnificent Ferengi. If you never, that's one of my favourite Ferengi episodes. Brilliant, that episode. It's just brilliant. It's not, again, this is another two-parter that's not one of the better ones, but it is it is, again, fundamental in some of the stories that they're trying to tell. And the bits that I do like about it was, I do like the ruse in this. Odo finds its people. It's pretty fucking obvious. But what a great...
But they still do the thing where it's reality but it's not reality thing, and I was like,
but they did that. I think Next Gen had done it, but SG1 did it after them, because Deep Space Nine was before SG1. We're really that fucking old.
Yeah, but they've done it better. Actually, saying it, no, the best one is probably Won't Be Fooled Again with Crichton, where they do the similar thing where he thinks he's being put in a false reality to be interrogated, but he's being put in a false reality to break his mind. So the reality just slowly fucking just descends into total bloody madness. And then he finds out he's got a neural clone in the back of his head that's called Scorpius, and he can't do anything about it. And that was fantastic.
But
so, yes,
again, it has story beats in it that make it one of the pivotal episodes to watch. And, again, it changes Odo's character. It actually makes you more sympathetic to him. It's the first time that you see the spark between him and Nerys. And again, there's great character moments in it. And it's not the best two-parter. The next one is the best. The Way of the Warrior is just fucking fantastic. But I don't dislike this one. And there's moments in it that I really like. There are moments that are genuinely good. Did Cisco fuck up? Yes.
So just going back to the episode previous that you told me to watch, Jem'Hadar.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that he hadn't spent time with Jake, and he was like, "I'll take you out. Anything you want. Go do survey. Well, me and you go do a survey of the Gamma Quadrant. Excellent." It's like, oh, I get to do some father-son time. Oh, can Nog come? Oh, fucking hell! And he's brought Quark with him too. And that was a good one, and where you kind of get exposed to the Vorta and that. Even though I think that Vorta fucking just sent herself out into space or something. That was good, and I did like that. And it's just a bit. I don't want to sound rude or anything. He made a real fucking hash. If you step back at it and you look at it, he made a real fucking hash of that situation. Yeah. So yeah, it's odd. Sorry, Biff has just put something in the chat. So one, he put weapon was dumb. Yeah, it was, especially towards the end. But it was interesting dumb though. Guys, Las Vegas took the movie Wizard of Oz and created a holodeck world. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I've heard
that
about
big
this.
ass fucking sphere. That'd be interesting.
I really want to see that sphere.
Right.
It does look. Every shot I've seen of it looks incredible. And again, the same temple that you will see the xenomorph go through. They have a big shot of that in the sphere as well.
Yeah.
I can't go in that fucking temple ever again now, having seen that shot. I can't.
You haven't even seen the shot properly.
I've seen it in the fucking trailer, and it's enough. Right, it's enough, right? Xenomorphs still shit me up, right? They shit me up less than this so far because they're too fucking bright. I totally agree with you, right? If they were in the shadows, it would shit me up more, right? But I fucking played that game. I just wasn't dumb enough to film myself playing that game. And that game shit me up a fucking bucket load, right? And I still can't go in there. I'm never going in that fucking temple again. It's like, Nate was like, oh, do you want to go to that? Fuck, no. And she's like, why? I showed her that and I went, never going there again. Never, ever, ever again. I can't get that out of my head.
So I asked ChatGPT, if I swapped out Captain Sheridan with Captain Janeway, would he get the Voyager crew home? Right? It's a sort of genuine thing, yeah? Would he get the Voyager crew home? If he was the captain of the Voyager, would he get the thingy? And the answer is yes. Absolutely. Faster, meaner, leaving a trail of confusion in the Delta Quadrant powers, yeah, behind him. It said the following. Janeway took 7 years. Sheridan, if he weaponized all his hours, salvaged all the technology he could get hold of, which he would do, 3 to 4 years. And it was, why? Because Sheridan wouldn't hang to these Federation ideology bits. He would sit there and make it his mission to get home. It goes, and this is the best bit. And it says, and the crew. And the crew's response to Captain Sheridan's a captain, they'd love him. Because morale had skyrocketed under a leader who inspires and delivers wins. And he was just like kind of 7 years under Janeway, 3 to 4 under Sheridan. Yeah, he goes and it turns around and goes, after he returned, he would have a heavily upgraded Voyager bristling with alien weapons and technology, towing a small fleet of possible allies with political treaties.
It was
from the other half of the Delta Quadrant.
It was always the problem with the Voyager, you know, the idea behind Voyager. It didn't work for 7 seasons. And there are Voyager episodes I love, and the show, and they're bringing out. I mean, they announced a Voyager game this. I don't know if you've seen the trailer to it. There is a moment where they do a cutaway of the ship, right, and you see all the decks, and they're all animated, and you just went, that looks pretty fucking cool. So, I mean, I admit that I'm looking quite forward to that Voyager game, but I've loved rewatching Deep Space Nine. I've just got to the final of season 6. I got to it last night. I haven't watched it yet because I know how bloody heartbreaking that episode is. It's not going to be an easy one because it always bothers me what they did there. But yes, anyway.
Right, before we go, let's have a look at the Voyager game because I haven't looked at it. There we go.
There's a neat cutaway that's pretty cool.
Let me. Yes.
Looks good. That is
very XCOM looking.
That's fun though. Have a look at the ratio on that.
I can't because it's not on YouTube. I've got it from an article. And I don't have the...
It's had a lot of likes.
I should hope
What
it
does
has.
that tell you? What does that tell you? It's interesting they're releasing this game now. Why not a Discovery game? Why not a Strange New Worlds game? Why a Voyager right now?
Because someone probably started making it on their own recognizance.
Yeah, they have.
Some massive Voyager fan who's probably so enamoured with the source material that it's going to be really good just because that they did a Terra Metalis, shall we say.
It's interesting. It is interesting. We shall see what happens, but I think it's going to be an interesting few months ahead. I don't think we're going to hear a lot about Star Trek until the Academy has aired. But they might announce the Archer series. But I think you're not going to hear anything about Klutzman until Academy is either aired. But here's how you'll know. As I said, keep an eye on Twitter towards the end of the year. Nothing about Academy Season 2, and if I was a betting man, there won't be. And, you know, what they've done with Dexter just shows it. So, interesting. There is hope. There is hope. Anyway, I think we should wrap this shit up and put a bow on it, because go to work tomorrow.
Yes, I know. I have to do it every Sunday, but it just seems weird on a Monday. On that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. Have a good one. See you next week.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.